All right, welcome to the 80s Babies conversation. We are ready to get started. Um, I got some of my girls with me, and one may be having the tech issues. She'll be right back in a minute. So we're gonna go ahead and start introducing ourselves. I'm gonna mute my line. I am your girl, Ray Cherie, the hostess with the mostest. Tonight is Girls Talk. This is strictly for the ladies. Grab your girls, send them this link, and let's get in on this conversation. All right, Katie, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Katie, and I have been teaching for a total of 11 years. And I am here to speak a little bit about some love languages, ladies. We really got to get in tune with ourselves to see how we, what are we looking for when we're looking for love?
Yes, what are we looking for when we're looking for love? What are women into these days? Those are all the things we're going to be talking about tonight. All right, we got Nicole checking in. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, this is Nicole. We're gonna be discussing a lot of things. The main thing I'm gonna be discussing is the love languages. You can't be out here loving people how you want to be loved. You got to love people how they want to be loved.
All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about tonight is Kevin Samuels was all the hype for the past 2 weeks when he did his thing on leftover women. So we're going to play the clip real quickly, and then we're going to get into the conversation.
If you have made it to 35 years old and you're unmarried, you are a leftover woman. A leftover woman. You are what is left. Men know that there's something likely wrong with you. Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to just go there with you. I'm telling you the truth that you don't want to hear. Men know that there's something likely wrong with you. But you cannot be fit in an adjustable 6 or higher, 35, unmarried. Something wrong with you. That's where men are automatically coming at it. And here's the thing. Just like when you were between the ages of 18 and 25 and you didn't want to settle, you were trying to get the CEO, the pilot, the investment banker, you were trying to get flued out. Here's what's going to happen. If you are a woman 35 plus and you want a man that's on the same lifestyle level, you're going to have to share it. All right, what do you think about sharing a man?
So not only did Kevin Samuels tell us that we're leftover women if we're over the age of 35 and unmarried, but he also introduced the topic that you will have to share a man as well if you have not wed by the age of 35. So what do we think about that? Is this geared towards today's woman, today's black woman? First of all, is this truly geared towards us that, we're supposed to be leftover women if we have not hurried ourselves into relationships? What do y'all think? Let's weigh in on that.
Ooh, hun.
So, like, I know Kevin Samuel's delivery, rest in peace to him. I know that his delivery is not the best. Let's go ahead and tell the truth. But to a degree, y'all, I understand where he's coming from. And I hate that he used the word leftover, but see, that's what Kevin was about. He was about, this is like what we're doing now. We're talking about how he said that. We didn't like the way he said that. That's what he wanted. That's what he's always wanted. That's what made him so popular. You know what I mean? But said that to say, women over 35, I know that we live in a time right now where I'm looking at myself. I didn't have my first child until I was almost 30 years old. Raven, I know you didn't have your first child until you was almost 30 years old. I know women that have had their first child when they were 40-something years old. So that's what we're living in, the time that these women are trying to get accomplished. They're trying to get themselves together before they decide, you know what? Let me get myself situated. Now I'm ready to settle down, find my husband, or let my husband find me, and then I'll have children. I don't feel anything is wrong with that. I don't say that it's necessarily left over, but I can't lie either. On the other side of that, I do feel like sometimes when you meet older women that are single and you're like, dang, that woman is beautiful. She got herself together. She looked good. She smelled good. Her child looked good and well dressed and well kept. What's the problem? And usually y'all, and it was a man that commented underneath that clip right there. And that man said he's met a lot of women, y'all, over 35. He said adjustable sixes, okay, 6, 7s, 8s, not whatever. And he said they were all bat crazy, or their wants were just unrealistic, just completely unrealistic. So I'm gonna stop right there.
But is today's Black woman in a hurry to be married?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I know several women who, in my opinion, are marriage material, but it's not like, they're rushing down the aisle or trying to rush down the aisle. At the end of the day, I don't want to give anybody an ultimatum. You want to marry me or you don't. What do I look like forcing you to commit to me, through thick and thin and sickness and health and till death do us part. Either you want it or you don't. However, I desire to be married, but I'm not giving the ultimatum. But I also feel as if you don't determine anybody's value. We're people. We're all fickle. We all have our flaws and our, insecurities or our things, our ways about us. You don't get to determine somebody's value. I feel like if they bring value to your life, then you should value that. Whether they're 23 with no kids or 35 with 2, like who cares? Like, who are you to, God, rest the dead. No shade to Kevin Samuels, because I agree with a lot of things that he said. He was being real, brutal honesty.
Brutal. And it was just his delivery, y'all. It wasn't what he was saying. It was how he was saying it.
Yeah, and people get offended by things like that, by the way things come across. But you just speak facts. You can't afford to date, don't date. You want somebody that's out of your league. Date who likes you.
Yes, that was his main thing that he harped on, was like, you got to be realistic with yourself. Like, if you already got 1, 2, 3 kids, baby, you already lowering your value. Sad but true.
But that is a double standard in a sense, because most of the time, I think it's easier to find a woman who has less kids than it is to find a man, because most of the time you meet a man, 2 kids, 3 kids, 5 kids. Some there are some single bachelors with no children, but I think it's harder to find a man with no children than it is to find a woman. And also, like, women have become more ambitious.
Yeah.
So, some of us are just getting our law degrees at 35. Some of us are just finishing nursing school or going back to become nurse practitioners at 35. Some of us are in med school at 35. So times have changed and women are becoming more ambitious, and women are starting to value their education a little bit more. I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, my daughter is 7. I want to go back to school again. So I'm debating between the EDS and the PhD or law school. So, who are you to say that we're leftover if we're still building ourselves?
Yeah, I feel you. I do. But it's not saying you, Raven, but I know some older women that got everything, all they ducks lined up, and let's just say it's some things that they have to work on as a woman if they want to, find a good man. You know what I mean? So it just, the door swings both ways in that situation.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Kevin was wrong. He could have used another word for leftovers. I don't like that. Because you're definitely
maybe more positive connotation, but he being real and like your family would be real with you. And I respect that. He wasn't wrong. He was right about a lot of topics. We're continuing generational curses. We're not breaking them. We're going into situations that we know are toxic. We know better. We still don't do better. We got to though. We got to.
Okay, but getting out of that, since we're all at close to the age, I'm at that age. You guys may be close to that age, but what about this concept as well? How long do we wait to see if the proposal happens before we bounce to the next relationship? Since we left over, how long do we wait until the proposal happens? Because we don't want to be leftover women.
Please do tell. Please do tell.
It y'all, and then I'm sure I'm gonna let Miss Rose chime in on this one. Y'all, to me, it goes off of how you feel. Yeah. It goes off of how you feel. If y'all vibe is right, and I'm telling you, Raven, I said it before. When you know, you just know. It's like it's a spiritual thing. I can't even describe it to you. Like the second first date with my husband, y'all. I'm telling you, it was instantaneous. It was instantaneous. I've heard other people say the husband they've been with for 40 years. They said that they went on a weekend date, spent the whole weekend together. He proposed that Sunday, and they've been married ever since. It just depends. My parents, they didn't date very long. 3 months, and my daddy was on one knee. Matter of fact, he asked 3 times, and my mama said no twice. I think she's on this live too, by the way. So yeah, Mom, I'm telling you business. But yeah, my daddy proposed to her 3 times within those 3 months. So nothing takes all that. They still together. They still happily married. So Raven, if I were to put a timestamp, now this is my own personal, right? This is my own personal. I would say in knowing a person or getting to know a person, I say no more than 3 years. No more than 3. But to each his own, because I've known people, and I don't want y'all to be like this, but I do got a cousin. She's not on this live, thank goodness, because I'm hoping to talk about her too. Her and her husband, they started dating when I was 3 years old. And I'm here to tell y'all, I was in their wedding as a grown 22-year-old woman. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, I'm not doing that.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Low-key common law.
That's like they was low-key common law because they was living together. Yeah. And finally, let me tell you what she did, y'all. One day she just decided, you don't want to marry me? I have done everything I have known to do to show you that I'm here for you. I'm out. She started dating another man. I'm talking about y'all within 2-3 months. He was on his knee, begging her. And then they got married. Sometimes men need ultimatums. I hate to say that. I don't like to give men ultimatums. Some of them need ultimatums sometimes. Just to let them know that, okay, I can find somebody else like my cousin did. She found somebody else. And she had done moved on, which I know she did. And I know she did it to try to, let them know that I can get somebody else if I really want to. So, yes, honey. I say about 3 years for me. For me, it would be about 3 years.
A 3-year max. And what's the least?
3 years a day.
Before you decide, because now, people are expecting wifely duties in relationships. So what's the minimum amount of time? Because you start wanting me to act like a wife. So what's the minimum amount of time before, okay, you got to put a ring on it if this is what you want?
Minimal. Now let me see. I'm going back to my own experience here. Let me see. September, October, December, January, March. Now me and my husband, we dated for 9 months.
So less than a year.
Less than a year.
You were married.
Well, you less than a year too.
And it can happen. It can happen. I believe it.
No.
Oh, that's why y'all were dating. Y'all were dating for a couple.
A lot different.
We'll give it
me and my husband actually talked for 3 months, getting to know each other before we actually went on a date.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just talked, we conversed through text, phone calls. Like we literally got to know each other for like 3 months before we actually even went on a date. Mm-hmm. He proposed to me. I got proposed to 3 times.
Oh, you were like my mom.
He proposed to me the first time within 3 years. It was within 3 years, like you said. It was within 3 years of us being together.
Okay.
You have some guys, because of childhood trauma, whatever may go on, like they are truly afraid of commitment. So we did some counseling. We did a lot of stuff before we got married. We were supposed to get married in 2020, COVID year. So our wedding literally got pushed to last year. But yeah, he proposed to me on 3 different occasions. So I wasn't like, oh, we've been together all this time and I don't think he want to marry me. Like, it wasn't like that. But it was a long time before we got married because of life. But he was not at all afraid, like, of commitment. Like, so, but it was definitely different. I feel like it varies by person. If you feel like that person is worth the wait, who's to tell you that you should not wait? I definitely wouldn't be the one to tell you that you should not wait. But my parents have been together 35 years and they did not date long at all. They knew what they wanted, and my mom turned down the proposal too, like, because they bet over, it was over a Super Bowl bet, and she lost. So her little pride was a little hurt. You know, she didn't want to get proposed to like that, but eventually she caved, and they've been together ever since, like 35 years. So
wow.
I feel like when you know, within a year, less than a year of dating my husband, I told him I was gonna be his wife. Like, I knew he would be my husband. And he told me the same thing. So it's like, it really varies by person. If you're vested, you're vested. If you're not, you're not. You can tell when a person is vested, whether you on the inside or the outside. Actions show.
Yeah.
Actions show.
True.
Okay. So since we're talking about the leftover women, we're gonna move right into it. Weddings. There was a couple that went viral for doing a wedding under $1,000 or $700, somewhere in that bracket. It was a black couple in California. They did this wedding at a roadside site, and she got her dress off of Shein. And I think their participants paid for their own dinner after the wedding, but they were able to pull off their wedding for less than $700. Do we feel like it could be done? Are we putting too much money into weddings? I have been to some elaborate weddings. I mean, let's take out a loan for the wedding.
It can definitely be done. The inexpensive wedding, or what's a more positive word for cheap? The more frugal wedding, it can actually be done.
Yeah.
However, I would have fed my people. I don't want to plan a big wedding. Anxiety. I have anxiety. It stresses me out. I do not want to be over that. If I have enough money to pay somebody to do everything for me, I will do that. However, I want a small, intimate ceremony, my people. But I'm gonna feed y'all. I mean, but I will feed. But I understand their situation. Everybody on board was on board. So you also got to make sure that your team, your party, your village is solid. Because most people have weddings for the other people.
Right.
And I want an intimate ceremony because I want y'all to be happy for me. Like, I want y'all to be like, Aretha, you deserve this, and this is what, So.
Right.
Well, I would say I'm either way. I feel like it's what floats your boat.
Yeah.
I'm all for the big wedding.
Yeah.
But I'm all for the fruit weddings as well. My first wedding was under $700. It was still nice. It was still good. But I found hacks into having the wedding. So when you think about things, you have your courthouse option, and then you can have a reception or a brunch later. People are starting to move more towards that. You can still wear your dress, you can still get your flowers. But I even went to the hack so far as when I went in for a wedding cake. Wedding cakes are really expensive. And I asked the lady, why was it so expensive? And she was like, because it's packed. I was like, well, can you just give me 2 separate tiers?
Me too.
And that's exactly what I did, because it changed the price dramatically. So there are
my gift to my brother and his and my sister-in-law. The wedding cake was a gift to them because like the wedding cake it's expensive. And so like that was my gift to them for their wedding.
Yes, I am for balling out on the honeymoon, because the weddings are for everything else.
Yeah.
I spent over $20K.
My God.
Worst mistake ever. All right, we lost ourselves in it for everyone. It appears. Ball out on your honeymoon instead. I'm so with that.
Yes.
Now, the next wedding I have, I won't be so frugal, because I do want it to be. It'll be the second time, so I do want it to be that moment of enchantment. But it will be on the budget, because that's just, I don't like being wasteful.
Yeah.
I think it can be done.
Yeah, I don't want people to get caught, because I'm gonna say, like you say, to each his own. Because I've been to extravagant weddings. I've been to cheap weddings where they serve, Vienna sausages.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I gotta tell y'all that off screen.
Oh wow.
But let me tell y'all this. I just had a young lady. She just became a doctor. I hope she's not on here. I'm gonna tell her a bit too. But just became a doctor. Her parents, they have the money. She has never wanted or needed anything in her life. Well-off family. They spent over 10K, and I'm here to tell y'all, after less than a year, they're already filing for divorce. Already. So I was thinking like, well, Lord, I said, I wish she would have, like you said, spent more money on that honeymoon versus that ceremony. I'm like, that was just money wasted. Within a year, she was already divorced after spending over
My God.
$10,000. And it was gorgeous.
And then you pay another
Absolutely gorgeous.
700 to 15 or more for the divorce.
For the divorce.
Right.
And they have a child. So
Ooh.
that's a whole nother fight in itself too. So
Right.
yeah, it's a mess, y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Now I'm talking about me. Whenever we decide to bring our families together, because y'all, we went to the courthouse too. I'm gonna tell you, Miss Florence, she literally met us in the parking lot of her church. We signed off because COVID was still going on. She was the notary. We signed off right there where she witnessed us sign off, and they said whatever day that you sign off with your wedding papers, that's your wedding day. That's your anniversary.
Yep.
And we did it in the parking lot of a church on Somerville Road.
So are you going to go back and do a ceremony, or are you okay?
Yes, we do plan on going back doing a ceremony. It will be New Orleans themed, is what I'm thinking, because that's where his roots are, and that's what he loves. Everything is New Orleans. He just loves it. So yeah, we're definitely gonna do like probably a New Orleans style theme. We're gonna keep it intimate. Like Aretha was saying, just invite a couple of friends and family on one side and both sides. Probably no more than 50 guests, if that. Mm-hmm. Because we do need to unite the families together.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Ashley? Did you ball out, or did you?
Oh yeah, Ashley had a beautiful wedding.
Yes, I did. I used my village. I'm not gonna lie. Like, different people in my family, friends we had, all my bridesmaids got their dresses. You see what I'm saying? Like, our village pitched in. Like, we did like the boat. Like, we got the venue. Like, and our wedding and our reception was in the same venue. So, but yeah, I'm all for like the courthouse wedding, and I'm all for put that money towards your house that you want. Because a lot of people are not thinking about like, oh, okay, if you're living in separate households, you got to come together in one household. So why not use that 10K towards that down payment on that home that you want, that dream home? Some of my friends from college, that's what they did. They had people donate them money towards their first home. That's what their when they had their package when they had their registry for their wedding, that's what it said.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't want people to like buy all this stuff that they didn't need. They just was like, put a donation towards the down payment towards our first home together. And I felt like that was a brilliant idea, because a lot of people do not think about like the whereabouts of where you're going to live, or what type of home you might want to get before the wedding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is a good point.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. And if you have it like that, by all means,
yes, please do.
Yes, have your dream wedding.
Have your dream wedding if that's what you want.
Yeah.
If you have it, ball out by all means, but don't let it put you in a bind.
Right. That's the day you go.
Right.
You shouldn't have to take out a loan or anything. Save up your coins, and try to do something that you can afford.
And join the church, because it may be cheaper if you're a member of the church.
Usually, yeah, I'm gonna say usually it's next to nothing.
Most churches is free.
Yeah, I'm gonna say usually next to nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They might charge you maybe $100 to rent out the whole church for that day, the whole day.
And for Christ's sake, get you some premarital counseling.
Yep. Yeah, some just do that. Yep.
Yes. Now, me and my husband didn't, but this is still something that's on the table, and I do believe that it's covered under our insurance to get insurance. I mean, to get I'm not there, but marriage counseling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can get post-marital counseling. It's all.
I did go to marriage counseling. I went to marriage counseling. This is funny. This is hilarious.
Oh Lord.
I went to marriage counseling a few sessions before the wedding, but I would say get a neutral party to do the marriage counseling.
Yes, for sure.
Because my pastor did my marriage counseling, and we went in person to do the marriage counseling. My pastor did it, and everything was just happy, joy. Y'all are gonna be all right. You all are young. Y'all work this out. But then I got that phone call that said, "Listen here, don't do it." And boy, I should have listened. He saw it, but I guess he didn't have the heart to tell us as a couple. But we went right on and did it anyway. But I say get the marriage counseling because you need a mediator sometimes.
You do.
Those things, and just sometimes you're so fascinated and you're so enthralled in the person that you really don't know whether or not your core values are aligned. You've had some conversations, but you haven't had those conversations,
Right.
Yes.
to know where you all are centered at together. I'm centered here, you're centered here, but we don't know where we're centered at together. And marriage counseling will do it for you. It'll bring some things out. So, I'm for counseling and therapy, period.
Period.
So
That's
am
the
I.
word that we live in. That's breaking the generational curses, Raven. I mean,
Yes.
right? That's breaking the generational curses right there. Because
I-
a lot of times it was always, oh, if you feel some type of way, just you'll be okay. Just on about your life, you'll be okay. No, not 2022. We're gonna go get this counseling that's covered under our insurance here.
I'm gonna go talk to
That's what
somebody.
we're gonna do.
Right.
And
I know that's
we got another comment that said, "Lord,
I'm going to my therapist tomorrow, and whether it's marriage counseling, single counseling, spouse counseling, parental and kids counseling, I'm all for it. My therapist, baby, sometimes I can look at my eyes and tell that I'm too much. She'd be like, "Girl, that's a lot. You got a lot coming for me. You got a lot coming my way," because I'm like a fast talker and I have a lot of things going on. But I love her. I need that because I'm not stressing you and Raven and Ashley out and my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Or my sister, my mama. I'm bringing it to her. And she's that neutral party that can help me realize that you need to fall back. You need to chill out. Take a breath.
But I went to counseling too, Aretha, for like 3 months. And before you dismissed me and everything.
Y'all good stuff. Like
Right up here on 431, baby. Yes, ma'am.
I can figure good stuff.
Counseling and therapy provides you a partner that is going to truly hold you accountable in an unbiased space.
Yeah.
So as women, we cannot be afraid of someone checking us because that's kind of what you get. You get an accountability partner. So our next topic is going to be about how do we want to be loved. So there are these 5 love languages that considered to be universal to all, which are words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. So let's talk about the 5 love languages and how we want to be loved. How do women want to be loved?
So y'all know it's the quiz, right? This is how I figured out myself.
So it's important you take that quiz though.
Yes, I took the quiz too.
Yes. And what my tops were, y'all, and y'all feel free to share because I'm gonna stop after this. But my words, my top ones were words of affirmation. I need that. You got to tell me daily or show me daily that you love me. I know you might be saying it out your mouth, but you got to show me daily. Okay. And then I also said acts of service. Those were my top 2. If you see these dishes in this sink, go ahead and get it. Don't let me have to tell you. You see this trash got to be dumped. Don't let me have to tell you. If we gotta clean up, don't let me have to tell you. Just go ahead and do it. And then I know that Bae done paid attention. The house looking a little slack. We school teachers. We had the most stressful job literally in the world. I come home tired every day. So if I get behind or I fall behind on stuff that need to be done around the house, go ahead and pick that up. I love that. You get a little extra later for doing that. Thank you.
Yep.
So y'all share. Y'all tell me what y'all need to test.
Mine was acts of service, physical touch.
Physical touch. I like that too.
Honey.
Yeah.
Every day.
I,
Yes.
yes, I need the hugs. I
Yeah.
need pats on the shoulder.
Yes.
You know, when I'm sitting on the sofa, we're watching the movie. I need you to pull me in close.
Right.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Yes, I
I
want.
love that.
Yeah, I want you to know. I like the physical touch and also acts of service. Help a sister out. And I'm not talking monetary, but like this, I had a guy friend. He was like, have you had your car detail yet? Bring me your car. I see you, friend. I see you trying.
I like I like that.
Showing
I
up,
love
friend.
that.
Yes, thank you for showing up, friend.
Yes.
Hey, if one of my male friends drive like, hey, I know you like your grass a little low because you like to be outside. I'm gonna take care of that for you.
I love that.
That speaks volumes to me, especially though, if I'm single, so I need you. Like I like acts of service, and
Mhm.
that's also how I express my love language. So, like, if my male friend is telling me some things, I'm listening. But I may say, hey, I heard you mention that you needed a cleaning service. Well, I found this one right here for you. Like, I will help.
Mm.
Yep.
That's I'm giving back acts of service as well. That
Mm.
kind of thing. And my best friend, I could swear, I'm a uncertified life coach because I am a problem solver in that sense, but that's my act of service. I got to help my people. So that is totally my love language. The quiz was accurate. It's on point. It had me
Don't
down to science.
point. Ladies, I highly recommend that you take that.
Yeah.
I
I,
see Felicia, y'all. Felicia wrote also acts of service, like Raven and I have already mentioned. She said she loved to see those actions. I have always gifted myself with whatever I want.
I agree. Mine were words of affirmation. I'm big on that. I am that friend that will tell you I love you. I will randomly call you and remind you that you are who you are. You're worthy. You're important. And I need that. And it was small, nothing minor. And he does this. It's random. I mean, he does this, so it's not like random. But like I got food. Like my boyfriend would have got me food like Friday night. I was in because I'm a homebody. I like being in my bed, y'all. I ain't for the streets. I'm for the sheets. And
Okay, now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
and then Saturday, so Friday night he would have got me food. And Saturday morning he was like, "What you want for breakfast?" I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "They just fed." Y'all like so small, right? So small. But
I
it
love
made me.
being
I was
fed.
like, sometimes it's just little things. And then music. You know, I'm like, babe, listen to this song. I just sent you this song. I love to write letters too. I'm a big letter writer. So I might, write, a letter and be like, whatever, inspired by some words I heard or something I read. So I'm big on things like that. Definitely words of affirmation. And then also, of course, the actions. You got to do things. You got to do things. Okay. The feeding me, the asking about my grandma, the asking my mom okay, asking me how work was. I need that.
Hmm.
I want to be all up in your stuff. I want to know what's going on. I want you to know what's going on with me.
You seem like you like quality time too, Reed, because you said like before we started, when I asked you about what you were doing for your birthday, you said you wanted to spend a little time with your boyfriend. So you like quality time as well.
Yeah, I told my stepson today. I said, talk to your dad because I want to go on a nice little date. And he was like, I got you. He was like, I got you. I got you.
And if I had to borrow one, I think that's another thing that's important to me. I hate if a man says I'm busy. Like busy is not in my vocabulary because I'm busy,
Lord.
busy, and more busy. So don't tell me that you're busy. People make time for what they want
For
to
what they
do.
want to make.
I would
What they
be
want.
Absolutely.
Never,
They do.
I might go ahead and ghost you if you tell me you're busy
Hmm.
because I don't believe in there's a such thing. If you want to make time for something, you will
You
make
will.
time for that. Period. And how do you
Right.
expect to be an eligible candidate if you don't have time?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You shouldn't even put yourself out there like
So
you ready to date and you know you don't have time.
Yeah, it's time consuming. You're gonna have to get some hours in to the struggle of getting to know this person that you're trying to date.
That's
So
right.
that's the biggest no-go for me. Like I'm so busy, I got so much going on. Oh, me too. But I'm here. kind of thing.
And I'm
Mhm.
sticking with the time
Yeah,
piece.
so my love languages were quality and acts of service. Like
Mhm.
time is my number one thing because it is irreplaceable. You
That's
do not
facts.
know the day or the hour. So I feel like that's my number one thing. Like you got to show me that you want to be here, you want to be present, you want to do for me, and you got to give me that time because I don't want you to just, oh, I'm gonna buy you these flowers on Wednesday, but I ain't gonna take you nowhere. That ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't
You
gonna
rather
work.
have them there in
Flowers
the
die
physical. Mm-hmm.
physical.
Slide.
I got to have you in the flesh. In the
Yes.
flesh because no, it ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work for me. But yeah,
Yes.
quality time, honey. You can't get that back. Time can't be bought. It
That's
has to
right.
be given if you
That's
want
right.
people to have it. So I like that time and I like acts of service. Please make my load a little lighter. Make my
Yes.
day a little brighter.
Little
Yeah.
bit.
I
Yes.
agree wholeheartedly. I agree with all of that. All right, so quick talk. What are y'all watching right now on TV? Like, what's popping for the ladies on TV right now?
Y'all, I've been watching The Circle because I have a former colleague of mine, Frank. Frank went to Troy University before he actually transferred to Howard. Then he moved upstate. But Frank is actually my Troy University colleague. So I've been watching Frank on that circle there.
What is
And
that?
my boy has been doing well.
So give us a little of the backstory of the circle and where can we watch it?
Okay, now the circle is on Netflix. It's actually it's on the top 10 list when you go in there when they name the 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way through 10.
Uh-huh.
It's somewhere in there, and the story is like these are complete strangers, and the only way that they can build friendships is through social media. And whomever they find the most trustworthy, the most friendliest, that's the one that gets the grand prize of 150,000. And they rank them every single week. So like if they really, really like you, they're gonna rank you high. If they're like, oh, they didn't really I don't really know them, they didn't really share anything with me, I'm gonna rank them as number 7. And I loved it. I watched it for the last 4 seasons. This is season number 4 right here. And then in knowing that I got a colleague on there, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely watching this. And my boy Frank is doing the thing. You understand me? I'm so proud of him. He seen himself on the billboard too, y'all, the other day. And he posted a picture of that. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what does that even feel like? To see yourself in a huge city like that and they're advertising the show that you just got off of. Oh, that's amazing. But y'all tell me what y'all watching. I need some ideas. I'm writing this down.
So I just started watching Grownish,
Okay.
spin-off of Blackish on
Uh-huh.
Hulu, and they are in college.
Hmm.
And since I love that, Black college experience, they have some white friends, and so I couldn't figure out if they were. I'm just not at the beginning, so I don't know if they're at HBCU or PWI. Where are they in Grownish?
PWI.
They're the PWI. All right, because I saw the episode.
You'll see the struggles later
the
on, the struggles between like being Black at a PWI.
Okay, yeah, they went to. I'm on the first episode. They went to a party and they got in trouble, kind of thing. So
I'm gonna start watching that.
I'm watching Grownish, but also I'm watching Queen of the South with Teresa. It's 5 episodes, so I just started the 5th season. She is a boss, like
Big time.
big boss,
Big boss.
big boss.
But I'm sure throughout the season it's gonna cost to be the boss. Okay.
It costs every episode to be the
Ooh.
boss.
Because I'm called bits and pieces, but that's one of my shows that I actually do want to start from season 1 because it's about 4 seasons, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And when the very first, I've been on this show since the very first season. I remember when the first season came out.
Yeah.
I watched it in 3 days because it was that good.
Yeah.
Okay. Season 5 is not falling short at all. I'm on like the 5th episode.
Mm-hmm.
It is not falling short. It has me on the edge of. So.
Yes.
So I am not necessarily watching television. I just moved about a week and a half ago, so I'm still trying to get all my cable internet stuff hooked up. But I do avidly watch, and I think y'all might know this about me. Every day when I get home from work, I check them on the Breakfast Club. I'm big on like the entertainment news and current events. So I always check in, with my, certain podcasts, certain entertainment news or media platforms. So of course the Breakfast Club definitely all the time. And the Shade Room, I see what they're talking about, TMZ. I'm kind of big on that right now.
And we hope you added the 80s babies conversation to your Tuesday night review.
Because this is where it's at, okay?
For sure.
This is where it's at.
And
So,
we need everybody who's watching the subscribe button.
Yes.
All right, what about
So
you?
I'm not watching anything in particular. I just watch random stuff, honey. I'm talking about like if it be like, oh, this 5 stars, I'll be like, let me check it out and see if they really worth these 5 stars. These people trying to give them. I just be watching. Yeah, I watch weird stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I be into like sci-fi.
Yeah.
Sci-fi and mystery, murder mystery. Like,
Ooh, I got one for you. Have you ever seen Lock and Key on Netflix?
Yes, I've seen Lock
Isn't that the bomb?
Mhm.
I don't even like
It
sci-fi
is.
girl, but that one,
right?
that
But
one was good.
it's some things that can grab you in. Like Stranger Things done grab like a whole population of people who don't even like sci-fi.
That Lock and Key, and I never thought I would like no sci-fi, never in a million years. But that Lock and Key is good too. That's a good watch. I binge watched that until I couldn't binge watch no more.
And have y'all seen What Happened to Tuesday? I think.
What
happened to what?
What happened to Tuesday? I forget the name of it.
Yes, honey.
He had all these daughters, but it was a law in China, like a real law in China, where you can only have a certain amount of kids.
I think two
kids. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Watch
What's it called? You said What Happened
to Tuesday? I think
to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, I got one more for y'all that I got my Netflix screen flashing right now, and they do the thing. I just started watching Our Father.
Yes, that's what I
saw that.
Do you remember when that hit the news? I remember that when I was like younger. When that hit the news.
Impregnating these women with his sperm. Some kids around who's just spread out, girl. Just spread out.
He's supposed to have about over 1,000 kids.
Because he was fertilizing them.
He was a doctor?
He was a doctor, girl.
A doctor. OBGYN.
What I'm trying to get to the bottom of is why? Because originally he told his kids, oh, it's just like 10. All right. Now I'm in the show. I'm in the part of the docu-series where it's now at, I believe, 17 or 18.
Wow.
But it's supposed to be that he has birthed, like what he has fathered over 1,000 children. And they're all right there in the area. Over 1,000. They all right in the area, y'all. And they were so scared. These women and men were literally scared. Like, Lord, what if I marry my husband? I was like, what if I marry my sibling? Right. Because it's right there in the area.
Oh my God.
The man, he was literally taking these women, like they would go in and let's say that something was going on with fertilizing the sperm to the egg. So a lot of the women would say, well, this is my husband's sperm. I would like you to artificially inseminate me with my husband's sperm, to later find out that it was his sperm that he put inside of their body. One girl, bless her heart, she cried.
Very, very strange.
She was a grown woman when she found out that her father was not her biological father.
That's scary. That's totally scary there.
And then there's no crime. There was no crime committed, y'all. How about that? There was no crime.
How was there no crime?
They were saying that, like, the police, when they were the part that I'm on, the police were saying that there was no crime because he didn't sexually assault anybody. Now, he did do some deceiving, yes, but there was no physical nothing.
They haven't written anything out against this. They have no law or crime in place.
Correct.
Right.
No name
associated with the crime, because probably this is the first instance.
This is the first instance.
That's insane.
So now they got to set something in place, because who is sick enough to think of that?
But my thing is, how are there no medical violations in place?
Yes, because you lied.
People have, yeah, right.
If me and my husband can't have a child,
medical violations that occurred
because
you
had me floored.
You know, that definitely you weren't truthful.
Y'all got to watch Our Father. Yeah, and I hadn't done the whole thing. But y'all, it will blow y'all mind. I felt so bad. Like I was literally on the brink of tears for these women and me. It really hurt my soul to know that they thought that their father that they had the insemination with was their actual biological father, to find out it was a whole doctor. And to find out that not only are you the one, you the two, but right now I'm on about 18, about 17, 18 siblings.
Wow.
Wow, that's insane.
It is, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So before we close, since it was girls' night, what is one positive word you can leave the ladies with until the are we doing this again? Will there be another girls' talk?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. All right. So we are playing that out. What's one positive word we can leave the ladies with to start their weeks?
Ooh. Well, y'all, first of all, have an awesome week. For us, y'all, this is our last full week of the school year. Yes, we did it. This is year 11 for me in completion. Get ready to go into year number 12. So for my women that are starting off their Monday, let me tell you something. You start out with yourself a prayer. You think about your goals for the week. Make sure you accomplish those goals. And if it's going to feel so fulfilling that you just set yourself some weekly goals. And then by Friday, try to reward yourself. If you don't do anything simple, but go downtown. What's the name of that little place, Raven, that you take your daughter and get that little $20 ice cream?
Milkshake Mama.
Come on now. Right there.
Milkshake Mama.
Go reward yourself. Go get that $20 milkshake.
The milkshakes are $20.
Oh, Father Jesus.
When we go in, he walks in, Mom, I want a show pony. I already know. We about to spend $100 on milkshake.
Father Jesus.
With 3 music and rate.
Oh, Lord, I be forgiving Lord Ziggy too. Lord Jesus.
Yeah. There you go. Got another.
I know they be glad to see you. I know you done paid a portion of the light bill.
Baby. Yeah. It's real. But it's a good little place to go sit outside.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It'll be worth it. I know it'll be worth it.
To the park
It'll be worth
after
it for the
so
kids.
they can run all that sugar off. Because these have candies and cakes and all kinds of stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah,
But something like that would be just nice to reward yourself to get
Loaded milkshake.
Yes. I stick to the milkshakes.
And nothing else.
Yeah. You go try it for yourself, but stick to the milkshakes. Now I told you.
Oh, God.
That's not it. It's the best. The best. That's what you want there for.
Yeah,
Speak positive. That's something I'm definitely working on. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been in a rut. But you gotta think positive. You gotta speak positive. You gotta make up your mind that it's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna make it a good day by any means necessary. And I have people around me that do that every day. So I'm encouraging everybody to do that because that's where I get my my motivation and my encouragement from. Women who wake up every day and show up. Somebody told me years ago, can't remember who it was. It was a boss, one of my bosses. They say all you gotta do is show up. The rest don't happen. So let's be positive, show up, and do what we gotta do. He gonna do the rest as he always does.
All right, and then mine would be walk into the room like you own it. All right. Walk into the room like you own it. We're teachers, but we may be future administrators. We may be future directors. So anytime you step up in that building like it's your building. And that you are the best to ever do it. Wherever you are, ladies, any room that you walk into next week, walk into it like you own it. That's my thing.
Yep.
Be the kind of woman that when you wake up, you make hell nervous each and every day. Because I know I make hell nervous, baby.
Come on now. Come on now.
Right.
My word would be seek happiness. Right now there's a lot of doom and gloom going on across the world, the nation. Seek happiness. Whatever there is out there that you feel make you happy, seek it out. And encourage others. We all could use a word of encouragement day to day to get us through. So seek your sisters out and just give them a word of encouragement from time to time, because maybe they need that. You never know who needs it, but make sure you seek that happiness for yourself. Nobody out there can make you happy. You got to know what makes you happy first. So make sure you're doing things for yourself to make you happy.
And on that note, guys, God first, family second. Take care of yourselves, and we will see y'all next time.